Joe here. I'm still in Sturgis, South Dakota. It's just a few days after the rally. I am still recovering. We had an abundance of 100-degree plus days, so it was pretty annoying. I am just getting hydrated and all of that and trying to recuperate. This week I wanted to show you a little bit of a glimpse of what it was like to actually be working this rally. And basically, as many of you know, I've been working for Memphis Shades for the past 4 years or so. Just absolutely love the job, installing windshields and fairings. So this is going to take you on a little bit of a breakdown of what my rally time is like in all of its boring glory. So I hope you're able to get some kind of enjoyment out of it. There's some pretty cool motorcycle stuff. I got a little bit of footage walking around downtown and some of the places I like to eat and stuff like that. So a lot of people came up and told me thanks for making the videos and how much they like the channel and stuff. Really meant a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys and all the support. Thanks for watching and all of that. So as always, if you enjoy this video, please hit like and subscribe. And as usual, I've included an optional donate link in the drop box if you'd like to contribute to this project. Additionally, if you're interested in following my Instagram, I'm gonna put it right there. And so basically what I'm doing is like 100 reels in 100 days. So every day I'm gonna make a little like 20-second video or something like that of just basically some random bullshit from my life. So you guys are more than welcome to check that out. The Instagram is at dirtymotorcyclevagabond. Just wanted to say thanks again to everybody that digs this channel and these videos. There's far too many people that I could possibly thank in this video. And I wish I could say that I'm really good with names, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So if you don't see your name at the end credits, just know I appreciate you coming out and thank you for showing your support for this channel and for the videos, and it really means a lot to me. So with that being said, enjoy the show. For the past several years, I've been working for a large motorcycle windshield and fairing company called Memphis Shades. They're based out of Memphis, Tennessee, and are one of the few companies in the industry who can claim to be 100% made in the USA. My job is fairly straightforward. I show up on setup day, help unload display bikes, tools, and tables, and set up the big tents and displays. On this particular occasion, I picked up an ungodly number of nails and screws from the parking lot, a potentially bad day for anyone on wheels. With the tent set up, next comes the process of setting up the display boards for the windshields and fairings. Once setup is complete, I'll typically head into the JMP Cycle store to do some shopping before things get too crazy.
Motherboard in here, which allowed it to be usable on jet skis, ATVs, all that. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, so it shuts off if it gets wet. It can convert 96 volts into 5.
Wow.
So, but that's what he originally invented 10 years ago. We've been selling a JMP for 9 years, so it's pretty amazing.
Cool. Well, I love mine. I am in JMP Cycles getting all my shopping done before it gets absolutely crazy. But I was just telling her, I've got one of these USB adapters that has a voltage readout on it. I lost mine because I left it attached to the bike when I took off. I turned around and got it, and it had been run over by a car, but it still works. So I just had to come back and get another one, but can't say enough about it. Awesome product.
Ride power.
Ride power. Things were already in full swing, which was unusual since the official first day was still a ways off. Apparently more and more people are choosing to come early and leave early, which is effectively shifting the setup and teardown schedules. During the show, I generally live the life of a monk. Waking up around 6 a.m. by the side of the cliff, rushing to the community center for a shower, working most of the day, grabbing something to eat, and going to bed around 10 or 11. Wash, rinse, and repeat. During the rally, it's not uncommon for me to work upwards of 75 hours a week. By Wednesday, things were already in full swing, and it was still 2 days before the rally. Many of my clients were Canadians who'd been unable to leave the country until recently and were using the opportunity to come to Sturgis for parts and installations. What you see me doing here is installing the fork clamps for either a windshield or a fairing. The majority of Memphis Shades products feature a quick detach trigger lock system with a bushing into which the brackets from the windshield fit. Each day after work, I had the option of going out to dinner with my coworkers in Belle Fourche, about 20 minutes away. If I didn't feel like riding, I'd simply pick up something hot from the Dakota Mart and head back to camp. Riding a motorcycle during the rally can be an overstimulating experience due to the unbelievable amount of things happening all around you. If I can offer one piece of advice, it's to keep your head on a swivel and obey all stop signs. Currently, the most popular fitment we offer is the Road Warrior fairing on the Softail Lowrider S. The first step after removing the stock fairing is to install an extension kit which brings the headlight out more or less even with the Road Warrior. Here I'm putting the headlight back on the bike and making any necessary adjustments. The exposed headlight wires are then covered with the special shroud we make from injection molded plastic. While I'm installing the shroud, my boss Alan is attaching the fork clamps. Oh, thank you.
I'll have 30, is that enough?
Yeah.
How many are there? There you go.
Thank you. What we just get? Some koozies.
Crazy.
Okay. I don't know.
Nestle,
I think so.
first an elephant, then the koozies.
Yeah. With the rest of the install out of the way, it's now a simple matter of attaching the trigger lock brackets to the Road Warrior fairing and fitting it onto the bike. This is generally the trickiest part of the process since both brackets have to be seated fully into the bushings on the fork clamps while also allowing even spacing around the headlight. If you're attempting this procedure at home, I recommend leaving the clamps loose until you get the fairing positioned correctly, then going back and tightening everything up. The Road Warrior is now ready for the customer to come back so we can size him up for a windshield. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Hell yeah. I'll be back. All right, cool. This is one of our gauntlets that I just put on this FXR. That's a 99 sporty front end. And it looks like, yep, she's been converted over to chain drive. Very cool. These are the Memphis Shades, boys, and we're heading to the flat track races in Rapid City.
Yeah, we're gonna win.
Even though we don't have a dog in the fight.
Sure, we're gonna win.
Here's the Sturgis sign. GMP had the vendor appreciation party down in the saloon down in Main.
Yeah.
And they had a mezzanine. You know, everybody's up on the mezzanine, but you could look down and see people.
If you continue to look out to the right, that's the hill climb.
Is it?
You're just around the corner.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
Wow, yeah. All right.
That should be
Wow,
good.
that's crazy.
1065, y'all.
Okay, that's different. It's like half snowmobile. A couple of little wheels on the front.
They snuck one in on us.
Electrics on there.
Rookies are 79.
That's their tent there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that.
Oh,
Not knowing where we were supposed to go, we ran out across the track between heats and were promptly yelled at by one of the officials.
Oh, really?
As we were eating dinner inside the Mission Foods tent, the man came over and apologized. They were trying to run an official race, he said, but was sorry about yelling. We had a stimulating conversation about the glory days of flat track before his radio called him away. This is the proper way. After the heat races, we crossed the track in the appropriate manner and found a seat for the finals. Although we didn't have a sponsored rider in any of the races, the trip to the Black Hills Speedway was a much-needed break from the monotony of the rally. Just before the finals in the Super Twins class, heavy rain began to fall and it was absolute pandemonium as everyone in the stands made a beeline for the exit. We made it back to Sturgis without incident. However, as I was riding back to camp, I was nearly struck by a white van which disregarded a stoplight, slamming on its brakes at the last moment and missing me by inches as I swerved to avoid him.
Oops. Yeah, but he wasn't watching his rear end, but I could have run into him.
Depending on the weather conditions, these events can either pass quickly or be pure hell. Due to the abundance of 100-degree plus days, this one was a real grind. Since I'm usually too tired after work, I miss a lot of the action which happens downtown, and frankly, I've seen enough accidents at these shows that I avoid riding as much as possible. On the last official day, I couldn't help but wander downtown to see a little bit of the freak show. Pan Pizza on Main Street. There's Main Street, Sturgis. Today was something like 102, 104 degrees. Sort of really cut down on all of our business at work today. There's not a lot of people out and about. I saw a lady almost collapse a heat stroke on the way out here. So it is absolutely brutal and oppressive heat. I figured this was a good opportunity to head downtown. I haven't even been here yet because I've been too busy working and going out to eat with my coworkers and stuff. So this is my first glimpse of downtown Sturgis during the rally. The old pan lasagna. Live music, live entertainment. I've been looking forward to this all year. The end of the rally is always a little bittersweet. For the past 2 weeks, you've sweated and gotten into a groove with the guys you work with. But after packing all the equipment back onto the truck, however, I think everybody was ready for the end. I stood in the parking lot and watched the truck roll back towards Memphis.